Michael? Where's Michael?
Not really clear to someone who hasn't been on a lot of the calls since the beginning of the year, although I was on a couple of them. What are we promoting now? Like, where did Core3 go, and what exactly are we doing? Is it 100 days versus 10 days? Can you guys talk? If you don't have
we can
another
talk about
agenda,
that.
maybe, because I'm confused.
We can talk about that today.
Confused. Okay, that would be awesome.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to just listen. I'm not going to basically talk, but thank you.
Who else joined us? This is Dr. Mike. Christopher's on the line as well. Who else joined us today?
We can talk about what Anita was saying. You can talk about it first or something. I had a couple ideas on it, too, because we have gone through a lot of changes. It's kind of the evolution of Purium,
Yeah, it can easily create confusion. It's how you choose to frame your own personal approach. That's why I always encourage people to develop their personal approach. Therefore, they're not confused by a lot of messages that are coming from the company, because the company, well, I'll be curious to hear what you have to say about that, Christopher. But that's what I would say.
Do you want to record the call? That way we'll have it in case we need it.
Our call is currently being recorded. You are on the tape.
Okay.
Don't say anything that you don't want to say.
Okay. All right.
Or that you'll regret. Don't say. Okay. Who else just joined us?
Hey guys, it's Azube.
Okay. Hey, Dubey.
Hi.
So Christopher was just about to actually get this call started. We're going to address a point of confusion that was brought up, or a point that was made by one of the people in the organization. Christopher, did you want to to that point?
Yeah, why don't we go over a few things right now, and then we can go over that subject. One thing that's important, I think, is that tomorrow it's David Sandoval's birthday. So, you can Facebook him on, send him a happy birthday on Facebook. That's probably the best way.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to mention that. And then the other thing, Michael, is that, to go to the Go Big convention, it's 4 payments of $50. You can put $49 down, and you can make 4 payments of $50 a month. So we mentioned that last week, too. We'll just mention that every week. And then David Sandoval is doing the Unconvention, and you can get a ticket for that, plus a ticket to the convention for $2.99. So basically, you can go to the Unconvention for $50, basically, or you can pay because the big conference is $249. So if you get both tickets, you can go there. It's a 2-day event. It's going to be probably like a mini Woodstock, I would say, and so it's pretty. If you've never been to David Sandoval's place, it's a very interesting place, and there's some really nice hot springs nearby, and the sequoias are nearby. So, it'll be a lot of fun. And if you don't have a lot of expectations, I think you'll have a good time. I'm sure, David will be doing some classes, yoga, all sorts of crazy stuff. He's got a slide there, so maybe he'll have that open. He's got a swimming pool there. So we'll see. And then the other thing, Michael, is the Go Big training. They're having one in Orlando on the 18th.
Just bought my ticket.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, just bought my ticket, and I offered to buy anybody's ticket who gets started with the transformation. So anyone who private messages me on my Facebook page, a little bit of marketing here, guys,
Good.
Use anything you have to get the word out. Hey, we've got some training going on here, and if you just choose to change your life and the lives of others, I will actually pay your way to the training and get you started on your transformation. It's another way to put it out there to people.
That's nice, Michael. I'll also do that, too. Anyone that buys a transformation and they get a ticket, I'll pay for their fare, too. So just or their ticket, we'll just see what organization, when the people, and we'll take care of that. And then the only other thing, Michael, is if for those that didn't hear the Mary Kay Milani training on how she gets people started after they get on the cleanse and what she has them do, it's an excellent 30-minute training, and I've sent that email out to everyone. So if you haven't heard that, it's real good, because if we do what she says, she's got the steps, it will give us much better results for us and our organization and for the people that come in. Because she, right off the top, she gets people to take their pictures, to weigh in, just to, put a message that they're doing a cleanse on Facebook. And so, she's a real pro at that. And that's why, she built her business part-time. She has a full-time job. So she built her business at lunch break and on her way home from her regular job. And she's quite the networker. So, Michael, did you want to share a little bit, and I can throw my 2 cents in later, about, Purium's gone through so many changes from, the 10-day transformation to the Core3 to the Reset Pack, and, that.
So what is the message? That's what Anita was alluding to. Your statement about what Mary, that field person, I forget what her, I can't say her last name. I'm sorry, guys.
Mary Kay Milani.
Okay, Mary Kay, that's good enough. So Mary Kay, what she does in a sequence-step process to introduce people into there and set the people up for success is quite bright. But that segues to Anita's question, and the question that we're managing right now is, well, what is the message? Well, what happens if we have someone who does not need to lose weight? I was talking to someone today who's actually quite thin and quite healthy and eats really well. She's, I think a disciple of Guru Mai, and she does all the right things. She follows an Ayurvedic lifestyle. How would I approach her? I wouldn't approach her with a 10-day transformation. See, so the answer to the question, this is just my perspective again, is there is never a confusing moment if you're clear about who's in front of you. Because there are 3 primary categories, actually more, but let's just talk about 3 primary categories that the company has identified as the primary market for Purium products. 1, Core3, the person who's just looking for something daily that they can do once a day and just begin to start to do something about, improving their health and reaching for their best health. So that's number 1, first category. Second category, a person who wants to reset their metabolism, burn fat, and proceed in that way. Do a gentle cleanse. That's the second category. No confusion in the messages here. What's important is to know who's in front of you. You don't market, from a marketing point of view, I never market to a enrollment package or to a given group of products. In fact, never at all. The third category is the athletes, or the people that are into fitness. There's 3 categories. So your message is contingent upon who's in front of you. And I would say I always just find out who's in front of me all the time as a precedent for what my message may be. That's what I would say, Christopher. As far as the company and the messages that it's putting out, I can totally understand Anita's perspective, because once it was, 10-day transformation, then it was Core3, then it was let's do the 100-day reset. So, again, these are all valid approaches depending, in my opinion, on the person that's across from me. I might not suggest a 100-day reset unless I get certain clues, or cues is a better word, cues from them as to what they're wanting to accomplish. And how do they function in their own life? I want to hear more about how busy they are, what's their day like. There's a lot of things I like to glean before I even make any suggestion whatsoever. I can cite a couple of examples, Christopher. Would that be helpful, do you think?
Yeah, that'd be great, Michael. Sure.
All right, so let's say this was a woman. I was talking to her for a few weeks, actually someone that I graduated undergraduate school with, and we were just reminiscing about old friends, and there was a party going on with all these people that we mutually knew, and I just connected with her on Facebook, and that's another thing I want to talk to everybody about today is marketing on Facebook in a very effective way. But I was talking to Laura, and as I began to speak with her, she informed me as to what has gone on in her life in the last few years especially, and I didn't know that, for example, she had a diabetes, that she had glaucoma, that she was going through these changes, that there was some weight that had been added to her, and that she'd like to maybe address some of that. So it became clear really quickly, oh, wait a minute, maybe, well, the transformation might be the first choice, but then I reflected and said, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to give a diabetes person the apothecary. I'm not going to do it. And she didn't need to sleep. She didn't have an issue with sleep either, I come to find out. So what do you do in that case? Well, real simple. You customize the package, and you default to the 25% first order bonus. So you're not going to get the 50, give 50, get 50. You're not in that category now because she's not buying one of the enrollment packs. So instead, I said, okay, these are the 4 products I recommend. I want you to take the Scoop of Greens, the Power Shake, the Daily Fiber Blend, and the Aminos. Those are the 4 products I want you to take. 3 of them you put in one shake. The Aminos you'll take, 5 to 10 a day. And tonight I think we're talking actually for her to buy her package. So I had to customize her package because I heard diabetes. I heard she wants to lose weight, but I don't want to give her the apothecary. She didn't need to sleep. She has perfect sleep patterns. So I defaulted to a customized package. That's what I call, you really need to know your products here. And I really know the products from having taken them and consumed them professionally. Casey James talked about that in some of his training. You need to be a professional consumer of the products that you represent. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have 60 products on your shelf, but it does mean that you're effectively including them in your lifestyle on your grocery bill every month. Okay? So, next example. Today, the woman that grew my disciple, she was very thin, she was very healthy looking, she had a very healthy lifestyle, Ayurveda. But she also clarified for me she's an entrepreneur. By the way, I had just met her on Facebook via another friend. I'll talk about that in just a minute, how I market on Facebook. And we just, she was willing to pick up the phone and talk to me today. She had some time. She's an insurance broker. She said she clarified that she's an entrepreneur. She could never go back to a job again, and she never wants to. And she really likes the idea of a natural lifestyle, obviously with your Ayurvedic focus. And these products just fit like a glove. So was I trying to sell transformation? Was I trying to pitch a Core 3? Was I trying to, identify that she was a fitness person and plug her into the athlete's transformation? The answer is no on all counts. No. I did nothing except expose her to some information. First, the Farm to Family video. Secondly, I send the same group of links to everyone, which is basically, one of them was Dr. Cuba's, the chief oncologist, talking about how professionals need to have these products because by the way, she mentioned that her entire family was riddled by cancer. Her mother, I believe both her mother and father died. Her cousins have died, all cancer related. And then we got to talking about green foods and Wigmore, and I'm just giving you the short skivvy and the short fuse on how the conversation went to point out something really important. There is no confusion about your message when you're clear about who is in front of you. And the only way you're going to know is to relate to them. You've got to build a foundation for them to be willing to listen to what you might like to share about, one, who you are, 11 seconds on who you are, 11 seconds that would include, well, what are your values? In less than 11 seconds, so they get to know who you are. Why did you connect with them in the first place? I noticed, quoting myself, I noticed that you were into the Ayurvedic lifestyle. Many of your posts were focused on health, were health-related. I also noticed that you were connected to the Guru Mai and meditation and so forth and so on. That's how I touched base with her. I said, though, I ring true with a lot of the same values, so I just picked up the phone. I'm really appreciating that you picked up the phone spontaneously to speak with me today. What did you think about that Farm to Family video? What did you like about it is what I always say, not what did you think. What did you like about it? So I'm wanting to address the question, and it was a very good question that Anita had, is, wait a minute, I'm confused. Is the company, what is the message here? Are we talking about Core 3? Are we talking about transformations? Are we talking about 100-day reset? Well, frankly, it may be appropriate to talk about one or two of them, or just one of them, or all three of them. It depends on who's in front of you and what they're sharing about their family, about what they do, their occupation, right? FORD, about what they do for recreation. What do they dream about? Are they an entrepreneur? Are they simply a health nut? Are they both? So I think, Christopher, the company's always going to be reworking, trimming, refining, trying to get as clear a definition of who they are as a company. I mean, remember, a company has souls behind it. They're just souls, and those souls are doing the same thing that we're all doing out here in the real world, getting clear about who we are, what value we bring to the world, and how we can serve others. They're doing that with this company called Purium, but they're humans trying to figure out directives and a way to guide their field, which is all of us. It's our responsibility and incumbent upon ourselves individually to get really clear about a few things about yourself and then interrelate it, weave it, that's a better word, weave it into a message that connects to the company's options. Because the company's providing a lot of options. We know why the 100-day reset exists now, why the research suggests that after 100 days we can, in essence, re-enliven the support of the production of adiponectin. So that is a part of what has become our message, only a part. If a person can't see 100 days, although I try to emphasize that the focus is always on 90 to 120 days with anything that you choose to do, that is a commitment to reaching for better health with your body versus an experiment on your body, which is the word trying to do something. I'll try the products for a month. Doesn't cut it with me when I'm interviewing someone. I'm looking for a quality commitment. So the 100-day reset has a place in terms of how we message. The Core 3 has another place in terms of how we message. So if you know the person's in front of you and they've never had any experience with cleansing and maybe they're not even ready for that, you need to pick that up from your conversations with them. And that's why when I roll through the enrollment options, I get really clear what category do we fit in here. Are we looking just to elevate your health, just to reach for a better level of health here with just something you can do once a day? Hey, I've got just the program for you. So you really want to reset your metabolism? You want to get your create a fat-burning machine for yourself? Well, start with the transformation, but know that you're going to head towards a 90 to 120-day program here in terms of a true reset of your metabolism and the reestablishment of the production of adiponectin, which is part of the skinny hormone messaging that the company's providing. You see, so Christopher, what I would say is that all of the messaging is congruent. The Core 3 is central to all three of the enrollment options. And the Core 3, from my perspective, only gets customized very rarely. Very rarely. If a person has diabetes, you might not want to give them the apothecary. for example, right? So I think it's very congruent what the company is doing, and you need to be able to take that umbrella of information that the company is now providing as an option and weave it together to relate to the person who's in front of you. That's what I would say, Christopher. What about you? What would be your input in this regard?
Wow, that was great, Michael. I just wanted to go over a few key points of what you said there, and one is ask questions and listen. And I think that's really important, to ask the questions, to get to know who they are and find out more about them so then you can better serve them. So asking questions and listening was a key point there that I picked up. The other thing, Michael, is what fits their needs. It's because it's really all about them. It's not about what are we going to try to sell them. It's about what is going to fit well for them that they'll do, that they'll commit to, and they'll follow through with. Another point you brought up, Michael, is what's their financial budget? We have programs for as low as, $60, $70 or whatever. They could, if the budget was super low, they could try a small power shake with a gift card for $1 a day for 15 days. So, what is their budget and what are they willing to commit to these products in their health? And, there is a 60-day money-back guarantee, so they really have nothing to lose. And if they know that you care and they know that you listen and you tell them your story and about who they are, they're going to go with it because of you first, and then the company and products will be second. The other thing you talked about, Michael, is what are their core values, and sharing our own core values with them so they get to know who we are and we get to know who they are and what are they into, and we talk about what they're interested in and get them talking about what they're passionate about and what they like. And then your other point, Michael, was being authentic. Just be real authentic and they'll be real with you. So it takes the whole, I'm going to try to sell you something out of the equation. It's about what do you think is going to work best for you, and how is your financial, budget. And then the other thing you mentioned, Michael, is about commitment. Like what is their commitment, and letting them know what our commitment is. I mean, our commitment is to do whatever we can to answer their questions and find out how we can support them so they can achieve their goals and their health goals and possibly their financial goals. And so it takes it out of the whole realm. People always say, I don't like to sell, I don't like to sell. Well, this is the perfect business if you don't like to sell. And here's a couple of key words here. And I read this somewhere a couple of days ago, and I really like this, and I'm going to, put it on my sticky here so I can see it. Basically, it said, be kind and serve. So be kind to people and find out how you can serve that person. And then, of course, listening is a big part of that equation. But, Michael, what I say sometimes, and, everybody has to get their pitch down, like you said. They're not their pitch, but how are they going to express what they know? So I just say to people, look, we have 3 different programs. We have a $3 program. If you want to lose some weight or feel better, we have a $3 program, a $5 program, and basically we have a Jumpstart program with 10 days, so that's going to be about $25 a day. So that's what we have. We have a $3 program, a little over $3 with the Reset Pack. I say it's very simple. You can take the Power Shake in the morning, and you can take the fiber product at night, or you can just take it all together first thing in the morning. You can experiment with it. It's just 2 products. We have a $5 program that has 3 products. You take it 1 time a day, once in the morning, cherry juice at night. If you like it, you can take it twice a day. And then we have our 10-day transformational cleanse, which is like if you're ready for that, you're ready to go on that ride. That's like, committing to go on a roller coaster or a Matterhorn or, a car that's going to go 100 miles an hour. You can say, if you want to go with that first, you can do that. Or you can intertwine and do any of these programs. You can mix and match. You can go at your own pace. When you're ready to do the cleanse, if that's what you want to accelerate, you can do that at any time. So I just try to make it as simple as possible. We got a $3 program, a $5 program, and we got the $25 program if you want to do the 10-day, and you can do that any time within that 100-day program. So if you want to lose weight or whatever, commit to 100 days. Here's the free $25 program for that 10 days. And you want to do that 10-day program and get on the reset pack, you're talking about $350 for that month. And that's going to, your food bill is going to be a lot less, and you're going to have a real easy program. And, you might only spend in a month for your full cost, you might even spend $440 on your food for that whole month. You could be less depending on how many flex foods you eat and what you want to do. So I really like what you said, Michael, and why don't we open it up to see, comments or questions about what people just heard, because I really appreciated the way you articulated and, talked about this subject. I think this will be a good training call for people so we can try to get it real simple for them. And it takes time. It's a skill. It's an art. I mean, anything you do, it's an art form. Anybody that becomes a professional, but there's many people that never even succeeded in this business for years till they figured it out over time. So why don't we open it up for questions and comments, and then we can see where it goes. What do you think?
Good to me. Sure.
Okay. Does anybody want to comment or ask a question, or did Michael explain it so well that there are no questions?
Well, I have a couple of quick questions. This is Doug in Columbia.
Nice to have you on the call, Doug. Thanks for being on. Yeah.
Okay, forgive me for a second. Has anyone had any success with being able to use the reset pack? That's on our list of give 50, get 50, right?
No, that's not a get 50, get 50, give 50, get
Gotcha.
50, the reset pack. Yeah.
In any case, forgive me, I was reviewing the research over the weekend, and if I understand what I'm reading correctly, I know we're not supposed to do a parallelism between our products and the kinds of medical conditions that they do or do not relate to, but I was overwhelmed by the fact that now 40-some% of all cancers are related to obesity. And I was wondering, because of that connection between adiponectin and keeping weight off, even with just healthy people, between just the power shake and the reset, isn't that almost a default product to fall back on, given that fact?
I would say. I won't live without it myself.
I'm lucky in a way because I live very close to Washington University in St. Louis. And the two studies that I've tracked over the last 20 months, one of them is the fact that they now are certain that if you want most of the benefits of weight loss toward towards overcoming the problems with diabetes, you only have to lose 5% of your body weight, which, and the same guy, his lab also came out with the other condition that I just gave you. It seems like our core product packs match the two most important general nutritional pieces of research in like the last 2 years. Is that by accident, or is just David Sandoval that clued in to what's going on?
Well, I would say that David is clued into what's going on. Frankly, you don't formulate these products without knowing what's really going on. And hey, Doug, you and I both know that is what's going on. Just look. I mean, all of us look around. We know what's going on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I'm actually quite amazed and sometimes saddened to look around me in any grocery store, for that matter, anywhere out in the real world when I'm traveling out into the real world, to see the level of health that people are not experiencing right now, and the deterioration that's going on at the level that it is. So, yeah, I would have to surmise that David's pretty clued in. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Hey, Doug, the mechanism by which, what article did you read? Was there a particular article that you read with regard to
One of the
cancer
articles,
and obesity?
yeah, if you put in, if you Google obesity, 13 types of cancer, it'll come up on Google. It came out in October of last year, I believe, like October 31st or something. The other one, the 5% weight loss, which, believe it or not, is more important. You have to read the whole, there's a bunch of them. They're out in several different periodicals. The one on 5% weight loss, I believe, was in August of 2015. And if you, 2015, yeah, and if you can email me, I have those written down someplace. In fact, I've realigned part of my business thinking based on those two facts.
Yeah, I'm actually
Are those articles on the Purium website, or where did you just find them on the web or something?
Well, I caught them on, believe it or not, Yahoo Health.
Oh.
And because remember, it's an aggregator, and then I just went out to Google and Googled what I learned in those articles to see who else had it. Those two articles are everywhere. But they don't, with our news cycle, it's 24 hours driven, so you have to know where to go back out to look at them. But one of them came out, I think, in August of 2015, and the other one came out in October of last year. And I'll be frank with you, I'm now I'm looking for a force multiplier, guys, something to get more people into my list that know that we're going to be talking about these two subjects, the nutrition and the entrepreneurial, in such a way that they can be listened to. Because I think everybody has a story, and with the environment that we're now in, everybody's story is really important. So I was thinking of ways to get more referrals. So I went back and reviewed those two facts with what we have, and I'm looking for new ways to try to communicate this stuff. So I'm really happy to be on the call today.
That's awesome, Doug. Thanks for sharing that. Would you be able to, if you have it, email me those links, and I'll just forward it out to the whole group?
Okay, I'll be happy to do that.
Oh, that would be great. That's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks for that information.
Give me till tomorrow afternoon to find those links, but I'll get them out to you.
Oh, yeah, sure. No rush.
Yeah, and Doug, I'd love to stay in touch with you, so, contact me on Facebook or otherwise. Email me at puriumtoday@gmail.com so we can stay connected.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd love to stay connected with you. I like the way you look, you research things. And, I mean, this is, and I'm with you. I do, that's exactly what I'm beginning to do now as well. I'm addressing some of the bigger issues. For example, I'm driving down to Miami on Saturday. I don't know, there's going to be 30 or 40 people gathered that were inspired to come together based on the fact that they're all suffering from diabetes. Or they have a family member that's got cancer, heart disease, or diabetes. Diabetes. Gee, heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, I know you know this already, they are all tied together. They're tied together by virtue of the original mechanisms that went wrong because of the input we gave our bodies for X number of years. So talking to those issues and helping people understand the mechanism and helping them understand that the way that you can reverse those or, back engineer it, so to speak, so that you can undo some of the harm. Not in all cases are we able to do that, but in many instances we are. And addressing that is mega, mega big. And I agree with you. It will bring you referrals, tons of referrals. I'm already experiencing it with one of my groups. So I know what's going on there, and you're right. It's going to open up a mega, just a universe full. Now, my biggest question always when I'm doing things like this is I have to be very careful because Doug is not duplicatable. Dr. Mike's not duplicatable, but systems are duplicatable. So we have to recognize and be careful to design, I should say, a way to put out that kind of information, yes, so you can get more referrals, but then when you do find those, quote, healthpreneurs, I like to use the word healthpreneur, then they know what to do in a simplistic way, because they may not want to stand up in front of people and talk to people. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that. So we have to find and use the resources that the company provides and make it simple for our people, and then you become the authority. That's okay. It's okay for Doug to be the authority and for Doug's organization to come to Doug with questions. That's okay. That happens in my group, but I'm also always very cognizant that I'm not duplicatable, and I have to be careful to help people understand, look, you don't have to be talking about all this stuff. You just have to show that farm-to-family video or that product video or that business video and do that simple protocol with taste testing, and at the end using the enrollment options to ask a simple question, which is the only decision you have to make tonight is how many cards you want and which package best fits your needs. Simple things like that are repeatable, reproducible, and duplicatable is the word I'm looking for. But I love all that, Doug, and I think you're spot on. There's a huge marketplace willing to listen to us because they're getting so screwed around. Can
I add another statistic in here for you?
Yeah.
All right. Another statistic that I'm looking at is the fact that 1/3 of the entire workforce will be over the age of 50 in 2020.
Wow.
Right.
Wow,
Now,
that's crazy.
Okay. Now, when you couple that with the fact that our insurance system is about to fall through, there will be more and more people probably willing to listen as the next 3 years scale up.
Yep.
I could be wrong about that, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I agree.
Okay, so taking all that into consideration when it comes to dealing with anybody that I'm dealing with the Purium products, and the reason I've discovered Purium products was because of my father dying of cancer. So I take this really personally. And I learned from another network marketer who is super, super successful several years ago, and whose advice I wish I had taken back then, and we wouldn't be having this conversation now, was the fact that she told me that she got very serious about her story, that when she listened to herself and when she listened to other people, she knew how to connect her story to their story. And then she had the courage of her story. So no matter what your story is, and we each have individual stories, which is the beautiful part of this business, and we find courage in being able to relate to other people, lots of other people, with our story. It gets easier with more practice because we get to know ourselves better through other people. And that's really the thing that connects us to this business eventually if we stick with it. For whatever that's worth.
I think that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah, that's
She makes
awesome.
a lot of money. She makes a lot of money, so I believe she's probably accurate.
Well, she's
said.
obviously authentic, and it's meaningful, and she's able, as you said, to recognize that all of our stories are actually quite a bit interwoven. Quite a bit. We're all having that same human experience, and we're all experiencing loss of loved ones, many of us, I would say. And, if it wasn't your father or your mother, it was your cousin's father or their mother that had died of some dreadful heart disease or cancer or whatever it might be. So, yeah, I totally with you. And I'm sure she was successful for that very reason, that she understands, and we understand that we're inextricably connected to each other through our humanity and through, as you said, Doug, the stories that we share. Absolutely.
Wow, another great call. Doug, thank you always for sharing your thoughts and feelings and information Really appreciate that. And Dr. Michael, you're an incredible speaker and educator. Should we just wrap it up, or what do you think, Michael? It's been about 40 minutes.
Well, how about one more quick request? I mean, inquiry. Does anyone else have any last questions? And we'll wrap it up if no one else does.
It's Anita. I don't have another question, but I just want to say that was really good conversation, Michael, and I appreciate it. It's just having the perspective of I don't know how to say it, but it's like I know what you're talking about, and in a way I've always tried to do that and know the person, but the focus, the thing about, oh, you know, this is the 10-day, the 10-day, the 10-day, and then people get disappointed when they don't lose the weight. So it's sort of just like broadening it out again kind of thing, and I just really appreciate the way that you sort of gave the big picture of it all. So thank you.
No, you're welcome, Anita. And really, you know, just think of yourself as an artist with a palette of color. And it's kind of like that's what shows up in front of us. There's going to be lots of different colors. And, you know, you'll learn how to be that consummate artist, you know, that knows how to choose the right colors to create the painting that's going to ultimately do the healing for that person. You have the solutions. We really do have a lot, just like Doug alluded to earlier. We have a significant group of whole foods, superfoods, organic, high-density nutrition. We have probably the largest superfood superstore that exists. We have a lot of solutions. So you have the ability to you know, just share your story, connect, use the paints, you know, watch that color kind of drift from your story. That's like Doug said, you know, your colors will blend with the people across from you, and all of a sudden now you're doing a painting together kind of thing. I'm trying to be a little bit creative here, but you know what I'm saying, and anyway, I'm glad that was somewhat helpful. Equally helpful for me to articulate sometimes, because I do it naturally, and I understand it's not natural for everyone. I just do it naturally, and I work at it. It's not that it came overnight either. I've been doing this a long time, and even as a physician, I had to listen very carefully as people walked in to tell me of their stories. So, you know, listening is a big deal, and then knowing that you have the solution. You are an authority in your own right. As you continue to study about these products and tune in, you could be a great help to a lot of people. You already know that. I'm sure of that.
Well said, Michael.
Call it a wrap.
So what do we?
You're going to keep grading your driveway to your house, and
yes.
We'll continue on.
Can you send this? We have this recorded, so I'll send the link out to everyone, Michael. And I don't know if you edit it or whatever, but it's a great call. They're always great calls. So nice to have everyone on. And thanks again, everyone, and have a great day. We'll be in touch. We'll see you next Tuesday.